Call of Duty made the news again with controversy, and this time it's about paying money to get an advantage over the other players. Let's see what's going on here. So there's a new skin out for LA Thieves, and you can see it here. We're going to look more details into it. And it's basically a 2.0 of the Rose skin, sort of. This was a skin to which you could basically be bugged invisible, more or less. And it caused some trouble and had to be fixed, or rather nerfed, twice whenever it was out previously. So now people are saying this is another rendition of that. The LA Thieves are an esports team for the 100 Thieves, and let's take a look at the shop and see why this is so controversial here. So we take a look. This is $9.99, so $10. You get this slick black skin right here. It's got the red LA on the front, all blacked out, and you can see where this might be a problem, right? So we come back over to this page and see how big of a seller. It's the 22nd top seller on the Steam store right now. Now this is where the problem comes into play. See, there are 12 packs available for each team in the league, showing off the team colors. And not everyone, of course, is an LA Thieves fan, so why is this spot number 22 was 18 on the list here? So like I said, it's extremely blacked out with the red LA skin, and as players of the original Warzone know, a matte black skin can make it very difficult for enemy players to see you. So as I said earlier, they released the Rook skin back on August of 2020, and people complained how hard it was to actually see opposing players in the game. Now, this new game has better lighting, so it is a little bit more fair in that regard, but we need to just take a look at how this matters for sure. So when we take a look down here, they're suggesting this skin marks the return of the curse. Now, the author of this article hasn't seen it in the game yet, but he does say that it's a bit of a situation. Now, let's take a look at what people are saying when it comes to this. And by the way, do me a quick favor. A lot of people think that they're subscribed to the channel, but they're actually not. So do me a quick favor and check, and if you aren't, go ahead and subscribe if you like gaming news videos, bringing more to you. So the first person says that I'm amazed at how developers for these kinds of games seem to ignore just how much their core players are willing to min-max every possible aspect of the game just to squeeze any possible advantage they can. I mean, I find it hard to believe no one in QA noticed how a skin like that would break the game balance. Of course, if you have someone that wants to rise to the top of the game, they're going to do whatever it takes to get there. And if dropping $10, one-time purchase, for a skin helps them to be not seen as easily in a shooter game, they're probably going to do it. If you can make your enemy not see you, you will take less damage, you will be seen by the enemies less, obviously, and have a better tactical advantage, scoping out your position, sneaking up on the enemy. That is dangerous for PvP. It's always risky whenever you have something that makes PvP better. This person says it's actually better versus other players. So this person said it was probably like, management wants us to make skins for these esports teams, so put their names and team colors in the game. I don't care if it looks stupid. This is what the bosses want. Okay, so we have to look at the difference between what the players want and what the bosses want. The players want a nice, fair game to be able to play. If you're going in PvP with someone, I believe, this is my own personal belief, there should not be microtransactions that give you an advantage against the other player. That is, be it guns, ammo, health packs, armor, doesn't matter. If you can pay real money for it and it gives you an advantage against other real life players, it should not exist. It should be a fair playing field for everybody. And this is not the first incident that this has happened in a game. There's a Terminator skin for Gears 5 and how everyone would be using it, and what it would actually do is it didn't have any voice lines and it replicated the mechanical steps, so meaning basically it meant that you lost your audio cues for the enemy nearby. That's a pretty big advantage when it comes to PvP. Your audio is so important in a shooter, or any game for that matter, because with your headphones you can say, okay, they're coming off to the left, I hear someone over on the right, I need to be sure to watch this direction. If you can't hear that, you are at a huge disadvantage. Now, as we go on here, in addition to that, it was jet black, so any and all darker maps let it blend in, while the white locust with brown and red adornments would stand out, as that's how it was specifically designed. So not only did this other skin take away your audio cues, it blended in instead of sticking out like that. Now, they didn't actually fix it until later on, so this person, commenter, thinks it's intentional, and they leave the advantage to get as many people purchasing as possible, then fix it retroactively once the well has dried up. This says, okay, hey, if we can have this $10 skin out there, let's have a bunch of people buy it up, and then we're just going to wait. It's similar to when companies, and this is so horrible, I hate that I have to make this comparison, I really hate that I have to make it. Car companies, like for the Ford Pinto, they knew that there were problems with it, and this is for other cars too, but they said the cost of paying off the legal fees would be better for the company than actually fixing the problem. It will cost us less to pay everybody off that was injured from this than it would to actually fix the problem. And so they went with what saved more money and cost more lives and injuries. This is what they're saying here, where they leave the advantage to get as many people to buy it, soak it all up, and then when the backlash hits the fan, they say, oh, I'm sorry, we didn't know this bug was here, this happened, we're going to fix this right now because we want to help the players, right? That's what they said is possible. Now, this commenter, Dumpster Baby, says QA may have caught it and filed a defect for it, but since it didn't affect the actual functionality of the game, some dev manager probably deprioritized it as a fix if or when or if you want to. You grossly overestimate the power of QA and any potential respect for the work by developers. So because this skin doesn't say, hey, your gun now does 5 extra damage per bullet. Hey, you can carry 50 more bullets per round. Hey, you have spawn with 100 more health. That is not an actual stat-changing game effector, so there's not as much push and pressure to fix it. It's a skin. It's black. Cool, right? Whoa. So players are using this skin nefariously to gain an advantage. It's not the skin's fault that gives them a stat bonus. It's how they're using a perfectly normal skin in the game. Okay. Oh, someone else agrees. Also, this skin's so tilted that it's going to sell like hotcakes till we nerf it. Hashtag cash grab. So now, interesting callback to the 90s here, the Doom and Quake era. I want to know what you think about this. Listen to this here real quick. The right fix to this is what FPSs like Quake let you do, pre-monetization, which was to allow players to force whatever skin that you wanted them to render locally, negating the possibility of your own choice of skin giving an advantage over others. Maybe a balance would be to let players do this for normal gameplay, but in replays, show the remote player the skin they've chosen. Of course, this is in conflict with player customization, particularly the monetization thereof, which will be far less valuable if other players were not guaranteed to see your player model as you wanted them to see it. So a game like Left 4 Dead from 2009, there is the Steam Workshop. You can customize whatever you want kind of skin, but other people don't see it. It's rendered client side. You see the skin, they don't. This is what Sir Slud here is saying, that you should be able to see what you want to see and the players use what they want to use, except for maybe like a kill cam when it shows everything. However, this makes less money for companies because if you're a player and you want to buy a $10 skin and you're like, hey, I feel like powerful, I want other people to see my skin, and that doesn't happen, that takes away a lot of your actual want to buy that skin. And that is why people buy skins, because they are proud of it and they want to have the social status and power to be able to show, hey, I spent $10 on this. Look at how cool this is. Nothing wrong with buying stuff if you want to buy it. It's your money. I can't tell you what to do with it. But that is, I bet, why. The shift in the monetization from then to now in gaming. Also, you can replace local skins with a bright white skin to be a butthole. So this would be a great solution. This person doesn't play FPS that suggested this. That awesome suggestion by Sir Slud, this user, or another user, does not actually play FPS and they agree with it. So awesome here. They never cared about the way that they look, but a lot of people do is the thing. Oh no, say the devs, is anyone going to give us cash for a particular skin? How can we possibly predicted that they would pay for a matte black skin that gives them essentially invisibility? Let's think about that for a second while more people rush to give us money, and then when we have reached saturation, we'll nerf it until the next cash meta. So that's echoing what the people said before. I think this is a little bit different situation. Although they've been with it with the rose skin before, it's kind of souring people's expectations. They say, well, they've been here before, they made another black skin, come on COD, you know what you're doing here, you're taking advantage of us. And this says, this actually says, are you kidding? The perfect C-suite solution. So we need to adjust the rose skin. It's affecting game balance. What's the problem? It's really hard to see. Pretty difficult reward. Not many people have it. So how do we get people to pay for it? Nothing. They just paid all the same, so people just made more progress to get it. Okay, so let's create a version that anyone can buy. And if it drives sales of skins, I'm not surprised in the least. So when you look at this, if you pay money to get an advantage in player versus player, that's completely unfair and takes away from the spirit of the game. Let me know what you think in the comments and subscribe if you like these kind of videos. I am Austin. Check the video on your screen right here, and thank you for watching.